Today we're here with Andy Isabella. Again, we're really honored to have you on. He was a former Biletnikoff Award finalist, won the George H. Bulgar Low Award, Harry Agnes Harold Zimmern Award, 2018 FBS Consensus First Team All-American, a member of the Walter Camp All-America First Team, AFCA All-American First Team, FWAA All-America First Team, PFF College All-America First Team, Phil Steele All-America College First Team, Phil Steele All Independent First Team, NEFWA All New England Team. Holy smokes. Reese's Senior Bowl invitee, where he won the MVP for the North Team. He is a UMass legend, a second round draft pick by the Arizona Cardinals in 2019 by way of Mayfield, Ohio. We are honored. Andy Isabella.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was that many awards, but
I
man,
left a lot out. I had to delete some because it was so long. I'm not going to lie. It was like 2 pages. I had to cut it
that's
down.
crazy. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be on, man. I appreciate you guys.
No, we appreciate you. So I guess we'll start right in high school. We'll go high school to college, then to NFL. Again, big fan. But starting in high school, in the 100-meter dash, you were a state champion with a time of 10.66. Your PR was 10.51. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right on, right on. I was just talking
Well,
about that to some high school kids. There were some high school kids in the PT office I was at doing rehab, and the one kid's a track athlete. He's trying to get a scholarship to go play football, but I was telling him like, hey, track is what got me the scholarship at UMass. So I was like, because he wants to play football, but he doesn't have any scholarships yet. He's a senior. I was like, don't give up, man. He like, you can still get a scholarship. You never know if you run a fast track time. That's what happened to me. So. Track was kind of my end to UMass really, and that's kind of been kind of my speed has kind of been my thing. They're like, oh, that's what we want to bring Andy in for. So that's been a big part of my game.
so you said you've been promoting it. You just mentioned it. That was my question. Was something you'd recommend to high school football players? Something that's a path that I took as a high school football player. Wanted to do track just to help me with my speed. Is that something that can be developed, or is it something you're born with? What
No, I
would you
mean
say?
I think I'm a little of both. I don't want to be like, oh, anyone could run a 4.3 or 10.5.
Right.
But I mean, there's genetics definitely play into it, but you could definitely develop it. You could develop it with hard work and dedication. I mean, when I was a freshman, I tell kids this too. When I was a freshman, I ran my fastest time was 11.6. So 11 for that whole, in track. I mean, if you don't know, a second off your time, that's a lot
Yeah.
of that's a lot. That's huge. That's like almost 15 yards, 10, 15 yards in a real race. That's a lot. So when I tell people I was like you could develop it over time, like it wasn't just always natural for me. I mean, I had the maybe the base and the genetics to maybe do it, but I kind of pulled it out of myself to train every day, train hard, and work my way down to that 10.5 and develop that speed over time. And it translates to the football field too. I mean, all that running that you do as a receiver, running back, that's all you do is run. And that speed helped me even early in my NFL career where I was playing gunner, where had to run 50 yards downfield and make a tackle. So it's huge for high school kids to do it, and it's what gave me the opportunity to play at UMass and started that whole career there was track and field. So definitely, definitely.
Let me ask you a question. So as a speedy guy, what do you if they're saying, Andy, we need you to get a big play right here. Where do you feel most comfortable getting the ball with your speed? Is it on a fade route? Is it getting the ball in space, maybe in the backfield, or are you trying to get the ball on a kick return? What are you choosing?
I'm trying to get like a crossing route. I feel like every time they threw me a crossing route, I housed it or took
Man
it like
coverage.
60 yards. Yeah, man coverage, deep over route, just run away from the guy. Like that was my favorite. That was my favorite play. Whether that was my first touchdown in the NFL, and then even like in preseason and stuff when I was playing a lot, and even when I was with the Bills, I had a play over the middle. He didn't throw me it, but that was my play. Just crossing route, get in the run away from the guy, catch and just go.
Mm. So you went to UMass. You originally started out as a running back and then you transitioned into receiver. How did track help you prepare to be that receiver?
I think just that downfield speed of just that straight line speed and that burst off the ball too. Like at track, it's all you're using your start. You got to practice your start over and over again. And a lot of football is just that first step, getting off the ball fast. So I think track helps you get off the ball fast and play faster. And I think whoever gets off the ball faster usually gets the win. If you could, I don't know if you agree with that, but if you get off the ball fast, you're usually going to win. And track helps you develop that first step quickness and then the long speed as well.
Yeah, Andy, was that a tough transition from running back to wide receiver, or was it something that came naturally for you?
No, it was hard. I mean, I was saw as a running back. I actually went to UMass as a running back, and I was there all training camp as a running back. And I remember there's one moment where I was like, I gotta figure something out. They like doing a inside, they like doing a blitz pickup. They called it, and they basically have just a linebackers run full speed, and the running backs got to pick it up, blitz pickup. And you're basically just eating it by I'm like 180 pounds, and there's a 250-pound linebacker. Steve Casali was this guy's name. He just freaking destroyed me every day. I was like, man, this sucks. Maybe I need to be a receiver. But I had a good friend, Marquise Young, that was a running back, and he was a freshman too. So he was playing hard. So that's another thing I try to tell people. You got to be a little aware of your situation too. Like I was kind of aware that maybe I wouldn't get a good shot at running back, and I was like, okay, where are there's always an opportunity that you could use your skill set in football or in life in general. Like just because maybe the thing that you want to play, like I wanted to play running back, yeah, but I saw my skill set, and I was like, maybe there's other ways that I could benefit and help this team, I saw it as maybe receiver, so I went and tried receiver. And I wasn't that good. I mean, I had trouble catching the ball at first. I had trouble kind of running routes and feeling the situation out. And I basically spent my whole freshman year. Well, I was going to be on the red shirt, but then some guys got hurt, and then I ended up playing some special teams throughout the year. But I never really played receiver. And then that's after that season, I went and tried to run track at UMass actually, and I got pulled my hamstring. And then I came back to football. So I came back a little late. I missed most of spring, and so I didn't really get to develop much, but that whole summer, I just trained like 2 to 3 times a day, starting in like April all the way until August. And I'm telling you, you could get a lot better in 6 months, whatever you're doing, if you really focus. And I really was believed that I had good faith, and I believed that I was gonna make an impact. And before you know it, I was making one-handed catches in training camp, and then by the time we played the Florida Gators, week one, I was the probably the fifth string receiver. But Coach Whip, their head coach, had a couple plays in there for me, and he throws me in. I had ended up having 3 catches for like 95 yards on like playing like 8 snaps on offense. And then he made me the starter the rest of the season. The story goes from there. But it was kind of 6 months of 4 or 5 months of really dedicating myself and practicing every day. And I was at UMass, and it was in the summer. Nobody's there. The greatest opportunity, kind of just to focus on myself, have faith, and just work hard. And I believe in whatever you do. If you focus you can negate a lot of mistakes that you made. And there's this one good thing about I think having faith and knowing that there's always redemption. You could always have redemption in whatever you do, and you can redeem yourself in 4 to 5 months if you really. I think if you and anything, if you really focus each and every day, and you can make a big impact in whatever. And that's not just football; it's whatever you do in life.
Yeah, so you mentioned the 95 yards that you had against Florida. And to say you did that only playing 8 snaps on offense makes that stat line way
Yeah.
more impressive. I can lead right into that. You broke out for 95 yards, the 3 receptions, like you said, against the number of 25 Florida defense. Included a 53-yard catch and run play. Was that on a deep crosser or was that a fade route? What was
No,
that?
that was he called it a sick go was a call actually. And it's like a stutter comeback and go. It was one of my favorite plays throughout college. He would I'm not kidding, we would hit that almost every single time he called it. And it was funny, he after he went Coach Whip went to Pittsburgh after, and he was like, I can't find anyone that he would always call me and be like, I can't find anyone to run the Sitgo. And I was like, you gotta find someone, coach. But yeah, Sitgo, man, that was a play. Sit and go, I guess, on a comeback. Comeback, that's where you get to sit, and then to go. So
Yeah,
come back and go.
I saw a lot of that route on your highlight tape. You made a highlight out of that route for sure. And then you tallied 6 receptions for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns and added 36 rushing yards on 2 carries against Tulane. So I'm guessing, you know, throughout the weeks, that had to been right after. Coach is probably putting a lot more of Andy Isabella into the offense.
Yeah, that's how you get going, man. You make a couple plays, and then you're rewarded with more plays down the road. And sometimes I see guys get frustrated. Maybe they're not getting that opportunity, but then you got to be ready. Like I was kind of just patient, and I was like, I'm just gonna be patient, wait for my opportunity. My opportunity came in the second quarter of Florida, and then more opportunities came. But since I did all that preparing, I was ready for them, and I was confident because I knew I prepared. But I mean, it was hard transition even after my sophomore year, or even during the sophomore year. We were struggling as a team here and there. We only, I think, won 3 games that year, or 3 or 4 games that year. And
Yeah.
I hate losing, man. That was one of the things that I hated. That's one thing that was so frustrating at UMass. We couldn't, I had a hard time winning, and it would kill me, man. And then I would try too hard to try to do everything myself instead of trying to work as a team. It's a team game. You have to kind of work with each other to make it all work. And these all 11 guys, it really does take that. And but yeah, leading by example, that was one of the things that was big for me. But I could also, that looking back, I wish I led more through my voice. Sometimes that's needed, man.
Yeah, for sure. And, the rest of the season was smooth sailing. You surpassed 100 receiving yards for the first time, going for 123 yards and a touchdown versus Wagner. I had my first scholarship offer, Division 1, was to Wagner. I had never heard of the program, so I got to know, what was the state of the Wagner football program when you played these boys back then?
Man, I think they played us. It was like 34-6. It was closer than maybe it should have been maybe, but our defense played well. I had the deep V route, basically what I ran to get that all those yards. But yeah, that was a fun game. I do remember that's coming back to me a little. We were at home. It was a good game. I think it was like later. It might have been like midway through the season or a little later.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it was. Yep.
yeah, that was a fun one, man. Wagner, yeah, hell yeah.
And last one before I let the boys have some questions. We're gonna cover a lot of games throughout your career. I have a lot of big games highlighted throughout your career that are really eye-opening. To end 2016, you ended it with a bang: 7 receptions, 134 yards, and a touchdown at Hawaii, which had to have been a crazy experience getting to go to Hawaii to play a football game. So how was that game in Hawaii? But not only are you playing Hawaii, but you won in a shootout 46-40
Oh.
and ended your season with a ton of momentum. How important was that game for you in the program?
Oh, that was huge. I mean, Hawaii was a good team at that time. I think they were like 7-5. They're trying to get to a bowl game. So it was like kind of like, all right, we're playing a team that's a bowl team. We weren't going to a bowl, but it was like, all right, we beat these. It was like our bowl game, We were in Hawaii for a week. I mean, it was sick. I mean, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. I went to Florida maybe 1 or 2 times growing up. So like getting to go to Hawaii, like that's what cool thing about football, man. It really, while you're playing, man, it really enjoy all these experiences because when you're like, when are you ever going to do, you got to think about, when are you ever going to do this again? And you got to schedule. They're scheduling it for you, so it's easy. You're just hop on a plane and go play some football. But yeah, I remember that game, man. It was crazy. I mean, it came down to the wire. We hit a sicko on a 2-minute drill, and I think we ended up losing. We lost the game at the end, but it came down to the last play, and we didn't get it done. But like you said, it was like, all right, it was a big game for me. I was in the flow state that game. It was one of those games where you're in the flow, like things are just, you're barely even trying, but things are just going the way you want it. Your mind's free, That's when all the hard work, you're not worrying about wins or losses. You're just in that moment, and that's the scary place to be playing at. You'll play at a high level, but it's hard to get there, man. You got to let go of everything. You got to just trust that you've already done the work and just let go and just be free and go play and know that you're able to go make plays and to believe in yourself deep down that you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I had that wrong, so I want to apologize. You guys did lose that game 46-40. For some reason, I written that down. You had won that game. So obviously, a good Hawaii team. You ended in a shootout, like you said. You had a good game. Um, and then go, boys. You got any questions about what he had for 2016 season?
Well, finish your thought first. Finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna go right into 2017. I just want to make sure you guys got anything, and if you had something, if you had nothing, I can jump right into 2017.
Yeah,
We got a
go ahead.
lot. Yeah, okay. So yeah, in 2017, UMass, you guys improved from 2-10. You went to 4-8 by Letnikoff Award watch list. Phil Steele, all independent first team at wide receiver, all ECAC second team, NEFWA Gold Helmet Award winner. Uh, Played in and started all 12 games at receiver. So obviously made that jump from speed threat to developing your hands, making those one-handed catches, making your name noticed in these big games, getting 100 receiving yards, big game against Florida. Um, you know, you finished the season as a team leader in receptions, receiving yards per game, and touchdown catches. Ranked among the top wide receivers in the nations for touchdown catches. You were 16th in the nation. Receiving yards, you were 27th. In receptions, you were 44th. So this is as a sophomore. Really impressive. Really impressive. Had 4 games of 100 or more receiving yards. Coastal Carolina, you had 101. Old Dominion 105, Mississippi State. You had 158 in University of Maine, where me and Shimel played and met. You had 152 yards and I think 3 touchdowns in that game. Do you remember that game all at
The
all?
main game.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was like one of my favorite games because I played well with all my boys from high school. They were big. One of my friends was a huge Red Sox fan, so he was like, "I'm coming to this game no matter what." So all my boys were at the game, so I was like, "I gotta go crazy." So I apologize to you guys. You guys were playing on the wait. You guys weren't playing on the team at then, right?
No, no, this was 2017. So this was like Ernest Edwards. This was the year before they made it to the
They were
FCS.
good though. They were good. Like they
This,
were
yeah, yeah.
like it was close. I mean, we had nobody won on our side. Dude, it was the coldest game I've ever played in. Probably one of the
Mhm.
coldest games I've ever played in. It was like 10 degrees, and it was like a wind. It was like a negative wind chill, and it was like 8 p.m. at night. They had us playing.
Yeah.
It was freezing, and we half our team was from Florida, so like these guys didn't even want to play. Like they were just standing by the heater. But man, that was a fun game, man. Coach had a lot of motions. I remember a lot of motions for me. Gave me one these good matchups, and we just went to work. Yeah, 3 tutties. Yeah, that was a fun one. After we went to what's that guy? The Matt the Wahlburger. We went to the Wahlburger after. That's what I
Oh
remember.
yeah.
First time at the Wahlburger at the Boston. No, it was a fun game. Yeah, cold but fun. Just was accumulated. We had, no, not a lot of people know we actually started that season 0-6. No, and then we ended 4-2. So it was like almost like a turnaround for our program where it was like, all right, we're finally on the right track. And then we played a lot of teams tough that year. We almost beat Tennessee. I mean, we were in so many games. We had a good that was probably the best UMass team I was on. It was actually my junior year. We were playing a lot of good teams and we were playing them close. We just couldn't we had a hard time figuring out how to win. Um and I know that even it still is there. Like when I was there with this year with we were playing Buffalo, and we lost it at the end. That was like a lot of our story when I was there. Like we would be winning the game and then we wouldn't do the right things at the end to finish. And that's where it comes in, just keeping that calm mind and believing that we're meant to win, that we deserve to win. And I try to preach that to the receiver room a little when I was there. I was like, play like you deserve to win, man, because you do. I've seen how UMass was working, and I was impressed for like a team that wasn't winning when I got there. For a team that wasn't very good at, they were practicing hard as hell. And I was like, you deserve to win. That you got to play like you deserve to win, and know deep down that you're gonna win. That's anything in life. Like wherever you go, like know that you deserve it, but you got to be realistic with yourself too. You got to know that you put in the work as well. But if you put in the work and you've been working hard, you got to play with that little swagger and confidence that you deserve to win, and good things will happen. So it started to switch my junior year, and it was fun. Those last 6 games, we went 4-2, and then we almost beat Mississippi State. We were winning, I want to say, most of the game, and then we ended up losing by like a touchdown, or maybe it was a little more than that, but it was close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so backtracking what Logan mentioned, you had 4 games over 100 yards. You had a 158 yarder in there. And then you also had a game over 300 yards the very next season, which is freaking insane, dude. That is such a crazy ass stat line. When did you realize that you had a different gear than anyone who lined up against you?
I was always humble, and sometimes maybe too humble. But that 300-yard game, there's a funny story behind it. There was a guy, New Mexico played Liberty. I think that's who it was, Liberty. They played Liberty the week before, and there was a kid on New Mexico that went for 200 yards. And Coach Whip is walking through the facility, and he's like, oh, there's a guy that went for 200 yards. Izzy, he called me Izzy. He's like, the guy went for 200 yards. Are you gonna think you're gonna put up 200 yards? And I wasn't even really messing around. I was like, I'll do 300. And it literally, and I'm not even kidding, we put up 300 yards, like 309 yards or whatever, 303, whatever it was. But literally, I told him, I was like, no one knows that. I don't think I ever told that story to anyone really.
Was there
But
any point in the game where he's like, damn it, like you called it?
no, he never. I mean, he wanted me to. I mean, I think he was calling plays for me to get 300. He was just calling bombs
Patient, that's
away.
what it was.
That's a good coach right there.
Hmm.
That's someone
Yeah,
I'd love to play for.
he's a great coach, man. He was awesome.
Can you talk about your connection with him a little bit?
Yeah, man, he's one of those coaches where you put in the work, you do the work, he's gonna take care of you, man. And if you do what he says, he's gonna take care of you. I think a lot of people miss that. Like he was a kind of maybe an old school coach, respect, but I have nothing but for respect for him, and he showed me that respect because I respected him, and I respected everything he told me. I did everything he said. And I think a lot of maybe kids miss that nowadays. They want the coach to give them something, but they got to look at like what are you giving the program? How are you contributing? What are you doing to make this team better? Why do you deserve this, And that comes with how you work, how you show up. Are you doing the right things? Are you really bought in? Do you really want to help the program win, or are you all about yourself? And I think I could really say, man, obviously we all have goals for ourselves, but I really wanted to, make him proud. I really wanted to win. Really wanted the team to win. I really wanted to help everyone around me. And I think if you're genuinely like that and you're genuinely doing it for something else, not really yourself, good things start happening for you. And I think because I was always kind of trying to do everything I could for him, if he told me to do this, I would do it just like that and try to do 10 more reps. I would always do something a little extra for him. Like, and I think that's a little missing now. People want to be given stuff too much. They want it to be maybe not easy, but they want to just do the bare minimum. But I think Coach Whip respected me and helped me so much because I always wanted to go over the top for him. Whatever he asked me to do, I'll do a little more. And that's anything that you do, any work that you do. I mean, you should do it like that. And even if it sounds silly, like little jobs that you might not think are that important, everyone should take them very important and do even a little extra, and then you're going to be given more opportunities because of that. And Coach Whip, that's how we kind of operated, man. And because I kind of laid it out for him every day and try to do extra, man, he took care of me, man. He took care of me, and he's probably the reason why I got drafted and wasn't even in the NFL, was becoming him. I could be like, oh yeah, I made the catches, okay, but he's the one who gave me the opportunities. He's the one who believed in me. Maybe when I didn't even believe in myself, sometimes when it got hard and I was down myself, he still believed in me. And you need people like that sometimes, man, and to believe in you even sometimes when you don't believe in yourself, and to lift you up. And that's who you should try to surround yourself with, man. And such a good dude, man, and such a great coach. So I was very lucky to have him as a coach because he really wasn't that coach that's like, I want to win and then go get paid somewhere else, or like I'm all about myself. He was really about the players, man, and that's what man I loved about him, man. He really loved his guys.
And looking into your career, it seemed like while you're at UMass, you were the first guy in and last guy out. You had a fantastic career. Not to mention, am I correct? You for 2 years you were engineer degree, and
Oh
then
yeah,
you have a degree in
yeah.
mathematics, and you graduated in 3.5 years.
Yeah, man. I was a workaholic, man. I mean, people say like college is supposed to be the most fun of your life, and I had fun playing football, but I'll tell you, beside after football, it was schoolwork. It was football, schoolwork, man, and it was a tough 3.5 years, but I I wouldn't change it for anything, man. Like that because I took care of business for 3.5 years. Those 3.5 years took care of me probably for the rest of my life, man. Um, and that's what I say. I mean, you come to college and you make the choices, man. Whatever you do, you make those choices that are gonna carry over. You're basically a sum of the choices you make. And I'm not, and even like my career now, I probably made some choices where I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like, things are calling a little differently. But I always try to always put my best foot forward, man. I always go hard, and I went crazy in in college just trying to get the engineering done. But I wish I would have done something I love. You can make money really doing whatever you want to do, but you just have to be really good at it. I thought, oh, the only way I can make money is being an engineer instead of things I love. Like I love nutrition, I love sports psychology, I love like anatomy and stuff like that. So I should have done a degree like that. But I was like, I can make money. So I always say you can make money doing anything, but you got to realize what you're good at and what you love. If you maybe even if you're good at something but you don't love it, it's gonna be hard to make money doing it because you're probably gonna burn out, or you're just gonna be like, oh, screw this. So it's hard. You gotta find something you love to do and ignore kind of the noise of what people are telling you to do, or telling you like, it's not gonna work. You gotta do this, do that. A lot of people were like, oh, engineers make a lot of money. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to be an engineer, even though I didn't like doing it. So you gotta still follow what you love to do, and if you're the best at it, people are gonna pay you for your skills and advice.
Yeah, Andy, I was just gonna say I saw somewhere that you only had the two college offers from Air Force and UMass, and ultimately you chose UMass, but you got there when you officially visited after you'd signed, and you're like, oh, Air Force looked a lot nicer than this, but you came to love UMass. What was it about UMass that you came to love over the 3 years that you were there?
I loved how, like just the energy of the college campus, all the kids walking around, and like just the energy of the whole campus. And I loved how it was just secluded from everything. It was just UMass there in Amherst. It's all a little college town, UMass Amherst, and it is what you make it. And it's anywhere you make. That's what I try to tell people. It doesn't matter where you go. You make the place your home, and you make it what it is. You could go anywhere, but you end up making wherever you're at, you end up making that place your home. You end up making that place however you want it to be. And I loved UMass. I loved UMass. I loved coming back. I hadn't been back in 6 years, and I forgot how much I loved being in Amherst and being around all the kind of the energy. There's a good energy when there's a lot of people walking around, and just a lot of people have dreams that when you're in college, everyone's got their dream. Most people are chasing something. They're having fun. And when you get in the real world, not to say the real world, but we get it out in other life aspects, there's not that same energy. Um, Always walking around, you got to create your own energy some more. So it was fun feeding off that energy of the college atmosphere. And that's all there was UMass. So it was just that college atmosphere and the energy around the campus was special. And that's why we got to get that football team get them rolling here. So I know Coach H, he'll get it going. So it's gonna be good.
Sandra, did you have something?
Yeah, going back to choosing passion for a career. I loved that you said that, man, because I went through something similar. I was either going to go to UMaine or Husson for science related majors. So I went to Husson just because I had family there, and I originally went for exercise science. 2 years in, I'm thinking to myself, man, I hate this. I am not having fun. This sucks. What the hell am I doing? And I just thought to myself, the thing I'm passionate about is sports. So we have a sports journalism department there. That's what I'm gonna do. And I preach this every day of my life. Always choose passion when you're searching for that job opportunity, when you're searching for your major, because you're gonna have a job that you absolutely love, and the money will come because you love it and you're going to succeed at it. So I'm happy you mentioned that, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was literally my exact story. But I didn't end up getting to do kind of my passion. But now later on in my life here, I'm not that old, but I just got my CSCS today, my Certified Strength and Conditioning certificate. And I do like a bunch of personal training, and I get all those certificates and learn about anatomy in the body and how it works. It helps me in my career, but it's also something that I'm passionate about. So I mean, I totally relate with you, bro. Like if you don't love it, you're gonna have a hard time doing it every day. And even if the money doesn't come, you're still doing something that you love to do and gets you going every day. And that's I would rather have that and having some purpose and passion behind what I do than having money. To be honest, I mean that's yeah, like you could say either or, but I mean my opinion would be that for sure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah.
Logan, do you have anything about 2018, or are you ready to get into the NFL process?
Yeah, one thing right before you in the NFL actually ran the tail end of your college career. You trained with Hall of Fame wide receiver Randy Moss to prepare for the NFL. What was that experience like? Shy and I played with his son Tigo, University of Maine. He was a
Oh, for,
stud, but
oh shit.
Randy was a NFL Hall of Famer. My favorite wide receiver of all time, my goat. What was it like training with him?
No, he was intense, man. He was intense, like good loud, good energy. And man, he pushed the pace for sure. It was nonstop work. We would be running routes and then he would have us running 40-yard sprints and then run and go ball, catch a go. If you don't catch it, you got five more 40-yard sprints. It was intense, man. It was fun. I thought I got a lot better and I definitely got in a lot better shape. And he pushed the limits for sure and it was fun. It was fun. I had a good time training with him down in Tampa. And you just pick up certain things. You could learn anything from anyone. I mean, even though Randy Moss is 6'5" and I'm 5'8", I mean, he still taught me a lot of stuff about hard work, what it takes to make it in the league, and now it was fun training with him.
So how did your mind shift from the college football experience to now the NFL pre-draft process?
It was all a whirlwind. Like it was all like, wow, this is really happening. Like I was like coming out of college thinking like, well, I was like when I was a junior, I was like, man, if I could just get I would follow all the guys that were like undrafted and see how their careers go, how they made it. All this, I was like, if I could just get sixth or seventh round draft pick, I mean, I'll get a little bit of money, it'll set me up for wherever I want to do next in life. So I was like, not even like banking on it. And then so it was all kind of like, wow, it was all kind of took me by storm. Like, this is crazy. I went from UMass to now being on the front stage. Um, being like a kind of highly touted prospect, getting a Senior Bowl invite, and it was a whirlwind, man. I wish I bought into more mentorship for me or more people to really help guide me and bring me down and try to help me kind of calm the nerves of like that spotlight. It was hard. It was definitely challenging going from UMass and now being in the national spotlight. But I kept working hard, and that's the main thing. Even if you don't know kind of like what to do or the road ahead, you just keep pushing hard and keep working, and eventually it'll work itself out one way or another. You're gonna learn a lot of lessons, and so that's what I did. I just kept working, man.
Yeah, so
So
we're being at a admittedly smaller D1 school. Obviously, your stats and your numbers spoke for themselves, but how did you make yourself stick out to NFL scouts? Like what was the process post season after you're done with college football to kind of get your name out there even more? What kind of work are you putting in?
Well, I signed with the agent, and he got me with Randy Moss, and that kind of brought that up. And then the Senior Bowl invite, that was a huge to get kind of started the interview process. Teams start interviewing you there. They start meeting with you. The scouts start coming in, asking you questions. They're basically drilling you questions about who you are as a person, what you like, what your interests are, like who are you outside of football, basically. And then you got to be able to present yourself in a way where scouts are like, yeah, man, this kid's legit. He's going to be serious when he comes here, and we could trust him to maybe draft him and give him an opportunity. So it's a lot about how you carry yourself, being confident in who you are when you talk to these scouts. Know that you could do the job and portray that confidence to these scouts and general managers that are going to give you a big job with a lot of responsibility. So it's important to portray confidence and know that you could let them know that you could do the job.
And that obviously all goes forward to the ultimate goal of being drafted. And I want you to take me through day two of the NFL draft. You're sitting down, you get that call from the Cardinals, and you're sitting with your family. What is that moment like to be drafted in the NFL?
Man, it was surreal. Like it was like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. Um and it was like, man, it was something, a dream come true, man. Like it's all that hard work through Pee Wee football, the middle school, the high school, the college. Then bam, you get drafted, man, and then it starts for real. Then you got to even work even harder just to stay there. So it's never ending process of just keep working and but man, it was a dream come true, man. It's something that I prayed for my whole life to happen, and something that I really believed and just kept going every single day, and it came true. Dreams do come true, man. If you really put the work in anything you want to do, you set your mind to it and you just keep going, and you'll be led in the right direction. I believe if you genuinely are authentic and true and just believe it, it will happen.
what was the first career win for you like in Cincinnati with all your family there in attendance?
Oh, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, whenever your family gets to come to the games, that was awesome. I think I got my first career catch or run. I think they gave me a run there. But yeah, I got to play a little in that game. And I was playing gunner, I think, too. Um, but man, it's always awesome to have family support, and that's why we do it. I mean, if you're not doing it for something or someone, or it gets kind of old, especially when you start getting money. Then it's like, well, at first maybe you're broke, and it's like, well, I want. that was a big motivation for me when I was in college. I mean, I left college with. I tell people I left it with like $100 in my bank account. Like I had no money left at all. So luckily I got drafted. Like luckily I had an agent that gave me some money. Like because I had nothing. So my big motivation when I was younger was like obviously I wanted to make some money so I could live basically.
Yeah.
But once you make money, then it's like, all right, what are you doing it for now? Like you already got money, like you got to have a purpose, and a lot of my purpose was my family, making my family proud, being a good older brother and a good example to my brothers and sisters, and to other people, young kids that are watching and looking up to me.
Mm.
What was that first touchdown like for you? The 88-yard touchdown versus San
I was
Francisco.
just about to ask that.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I mean, that was my first game really getting action at receiver. Um, and I sat in the locker room after for like 3 hours, just didn't want to leave because it was such a crazy feeling, such a surreal moment, and something that I'll remember probably my whole life. I don't know if I ever like it was a crazy. It was Thursday night football on Halloween. I mean, it doesn't get much crazier than maybe a Super Bowl. It would be crazier, I guess, or a crazy playoff game. But
Yeah, and like you've had those long touchdowns before in college, but it's so much different in the NFL in front of your home crowd on prime time. Is it true? Like, is the theory of having tunnel vision in those moments, is that real or is it not so much?
no, absolutely. I mean, like you get that play, they call the double play in the huddles. Like, all right, we're gonna run the ball to the left side, and then we're gonna run this crossing route right after, and we're gonna hope we get them in man coverage because we're gonna hurry to the line. And as they do all these analytics, and the defense usually when you do this, Salah's Robert Salah's defense usually he'll go in man coverage just line up quick and get easy call. And so that's exactly what happened. Like that's a game plan, and if you're aware of the game plan, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is my chance to get the rock, and then you get line up. Sure enough, it's man coverage, and then it's like, all right, everything slows down, and you let the body take over, and it's just like you're in that flow state. Everything's just happening exactly how you saw it to happen, and it was a very special moment, man, for my career, and
Yeah, for sure.
helped me probably, it was a good highlight to help me with other jobs out down the road, and people watch that film, they see that, and they're like, oh man, we'll give this guy a shot.
Yeah, it was really cool because I remember watching that happen live actually. But I want to talk about some of the mentors that you might have had in Arizona, specifically DeAndre Hopkins. Like you trained with Randy Moss before, but being with DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona, what was that like to have a guy who's I think easily going to make the Hall of Fame one day, to kind of help you along your process in your early years?
No, it's cool to see a guy that's was a kind of a career guy that made a real career of the NFL Hall of Famer. And just to watch him and be around him, that's the energy. He pushes you to play better. If he's like, all right, man, this is the guy. Now we all got to step up to get on his level and help him. So it's cool to have guys. I mean, I got to play with some really cool guys like AJ Green, D Hop, Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk, like Hollywood Brown, like all these guys, like some really cool names. And you see them when you watch other guys that are kind of that's another way to get better is to watch guys that are um maybe a little better than you and not being humble about it and really watching their technique, and you can learn a lot from watching, and soon you start becoming that. So being around a good talent elevates you, so being around these guys definitely helped elevate me and help move me forward in my career.
Yeah, was there? I don't even know why I blanked on Larry Fitzgerald being there too. But was there ever like, what was one piece of advice that a guy like him or DeAndre Hopkins gave to you? Maybe not specifically about the wide receiver position, but like kind of making it in the NFL. Was there anything that really stuck with you that they talked to you about at all?
Yeah, like there's no secrets. Like there's no secret to making it in anything you do in life. Is the amount of work you put in, the dedication you have, and how hard you're gonna work. And you see Larry, he was in his I mean, what I saw from him, like he was working as hard as he could, and he was like 16 years in the NFL. And it's like, all right, that's probably what it takes. And I kind of knew that, but like seeing a guy that's been there for 16 years still putting in work like that, it shows you like, all right, this is what it takes. It's hard to stay here now. Like maybe it was hard to get there. It's going to be even harder to stay. That's what they say. And it's true.
One thing that the guys and I have been dying to ask, you're welcome to the NFL moment, good or bad. What is it?
Welcome to the NFL moment. Shoot, I don't know if I had any crazy welcome to the NFL moment. I'm trying to think.
Could
Maybe
even be the touchdown.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's what you're gonna pick.
that was probably like a big welcome to the NFL. Like, all right, well, this you could like, yeah, you could play. Like, yeah, you got the talent because when you get to the NFL, I came from UMass. All these guys are from like bigger schools like Alabama and stuff, and then you see some of these guys. You're like, man, this guy played at Alabama. Like he's just a normal. So I try to tell people like these guys are just normal humans. Like when I think my welcome to NFL moment was first day when I was had to introduce myself. I was nervous as hell. I had to introduce myself to the team, and I was just so nervous because I'm like, do I am I worthy of being here? I'm just a new guy. Like I'm not trying to mess up. And I was super nervous, and the coach was like, the coach was like, he's like, "Are you good? Are you nervous?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm nervous." Like I'm Larry Fitzgerald right there. But when I got to be around these guys, these guys are just normal guys. There's normal people that just work a little harder and take things a little bit more serious. And I think anyone could do it if they take it. If you take it serious and you're dedicated and you put in the work, you could do a lot of things and a lot of great things with your life if you're really serious about it and really put the time and effort into it. And I think that's what a lot of people forget is they kind of look at NFL players, and I did that too. Like I was at UMass, so I looked up at these guys as my heroes and someone that I wanted to be like. And I get there and I'm like, these guys are just normal guys, man. They don't have any special ability. They have no special talent. There's no different than me. Like, yeah, Larry might be 6'5" and can bench 400 and squat 500, but he's just a normal dude, like, and that just works hard and takes it serious and is passionate about what he does. So that was my welcome to the NFL moment, was probably standing up there introducing myself to these guys, and then later on realizing like, man, these guys are just normal guys.
Mm.
Was there ever a moment going up against like obviously in college you faced some good cornerbacks, but in the NFL, especially that division at the time with guys on the Rams like Jalen Ramsey or with San Francisco and Richard Sherman, was there ever a moment where you went up against those guys or they were on the other side of the ball and you're like, damn, like these are next level players?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you line up, you look across, and you're like, man, this guy Richard Sherman, I've been watching him since I was like 10 years old, like, and now I'm out here playing with them. It's kind of crazy, but at the end of the day, like I said, these guys are just normal guys, and you have to realize that. Like, sometimes I allowed that to get in the way of being like, man, I'm not. These guys are special. They're not. They're just regular guys, maybe with a little bit more talent. They're a little bit more physical talents, a little bit better, little genetics play into it a little. But at the end of the day, they're just humans and they bleed the same, and we all put in the same work. So I deserve to be out there. And at the end of the day, I'm not even worried about who's in front of me. I'm doing my job, and whatever that is, and I got to find a way to win. So if he's in the way, then we're gonna find a way to win.
How is the route tree in the NFL compared to what it was at UMass?
It's a lot more. You got to be a lot more detailed with your routes. I think that's one thing from the NFL to college. You got to be college. You kind of get away with maybe it's a little sloppy route, but in NFL, a lot of it's a lot of precision. You got to be here because the quarterback's going through his reads. He's got to know where you're going to be at all times. And maybe in college, they kind of separate. The ball's going to go here every time. In the NFL, it's a lot of all right. We got to know what coverage this is, and based on the coverage, we're going through our progression and finding the right open guy. And obviously, you move around guys, try to get guys in spots, try to get certain guys the ball, just like college. But at the end of the day, it's a precision. But football is just football, man. It's not much different than Coach Whip. He coached in the NFL for a long time before then,
Yeah.
so that offense definitely helped me prepare me. Even though Cliff Kingsbury's offense was more college-y anyway, so um, that was it was more four receivers, three receiver sets all the time.
There's a lot of there's a lot of changes in quarterbacks also from college to the NFL level. When you got to Arizona and you started working with Kyler Murray, how long did it take to kind of establish the chemistry there? And was it harder than establishing a chemistry with, say, your quarterback back at UMass? Was there a lot more to it?
Not really. I mean, you get your routes in with them, but you definitely want to be on the quarterback's good side, and you would definitely want to make a connection with the quarterback and get to know him and kind of be friend. Obviously, you want to be maybe even friends with them, but you want to. You're a team. You're working together, so to have that connection, you really got to work as a team. You got to get to know your teammates, and build that connection so you guys trust each other when you're on the field because you're basically going to a little bit of a war together, and you got to have each other's back when whatever it is, and be ready for whatever is thrown your way.
Do you think if the transfer portal was available like it was today back then, do you think you would have stuck it out at UMass, or do you think you would have transferred to a bigger school? Because you definitely would have been recruited to some of the top schools in the nation. If
Well, now with all the money now, I mean, like I said, I had no money in college, so I mean, probably I would have because the money if they were paying like then yeah, like why wouldn't he? So I even tell these like the guys at UMass receivers. I know Coach Hogue probably didn't like me telling him this, but I was like, you play good here, you get a big contract somewhere else and go play. I mean, we're all. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to help you. At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter who's in the receiver room. Us as coaches, when I was coaching there, it's our responsibility to help those guys and make those guys go on the field and perform at a high level. And I want you to do better so that you get paid and you get what you deserve and you go on and do great things wherever you're at. And I'll take pride in that because I maybe started that for you. So we want to help you do as best as you can in this situation and go on. And we would love to go see you go on and do bigger and better things, and get paid. That's so I was telling the receivers, I'm like, you don't slack off these games just because we're 0-8 maybe and we're not in a bowl game. You have a chance to make plays and put good things on tape to go get maybe paid somewhere else, or UMass will pay you. They're still UMass is paying guys too. So if you play better, they're going to want to give you more money. But if you're slacking off, you're not going to get paid. And at the end of the day, we want to help these guys set them up so when they leave UMass or wherever they're going to leave, they have a good start to life and they could take care of themselves. And if they have a family, take care of their family. And that's important. And maybe you don't realize that when you're 19, 20 years old. But you'll realize it sooner or later. And our job as coaches is to help you realize that so that we want to see you be better men when you leave the program or you leave our kind of supervision.
Was there ever a year where you felt physically at your peak?
Hell yeah, my fourth year and when I was in Arizona, my fourth year, I had a great trainer. Dante Davis, we trained every day, man, and I wasn't even supposed to make the Cardinals. I was trying to get traded. We asked the GM to trade me. He wouldn't trade me. He was basically said, "You're sticking it out. We need guys, depth guys, and but we're probably going to cut you after training camp, which is like the worst time to get cut is after training camp, and especially if you're not going to sign back with that team on the practice squad." So he basically says he was kind of doing that probably because, he drafted me and he was like, I don't want you to go somewhere else and play good. So I wasn't supposed to make the team, but I had played so good in that preseason that he was forced to keep me and he kept me there for like 5 weeks, my fourth year. And he paid me a lot of money, and even though I got cut, I was still proud of how I played. And then it opened up when I got cut. There was 13 teams that wanted to sign me right away. So that was probably the best I played that preseason, my fourth year. I think I was like the second leading receiver in preseason, my fourth year. And it opened up a lot of opportunities for me and kind of kept my career going to even now, like that tape. People watch the tape, and you put good stuff on tape, you get opportunities down the road and whatever it is, man. Even when I was in Buffalo, I mean, the last couple of years of my career, I was bouncing off practice squads, but then getting elevated, and you get paid a lot when you get elevated, and even on the practice squad, you get paid a lot, and it's not easy being on there. Um, so I tell guys, I mean, don't be discouraged the position you're in. If you're still on a team, keep fighting. You never know what could happen, but you're also taking care of yourself. If you stop fighting, there's gonna be no opportunities, and you don't want that. So
Yeah,
for
Andy.
sure.
So I want to talk a little bit about your time with the Bills because I'm a Bills fan. So
All
I was
right.
extremely excited to hear about you coming on the show. When former players or current players talk about Buffalo, the current state of them, they always talk about the fans and how crazy they are, but they also talk about the culture that they try to build there with Sean McDermott and Josh Allen and all the teams that is there. Is that something that you picked up on, just the how good the culture was, like a winning culture, or like just the brotherhood that was there in Buffalo when you stepped in the building?
Oh yeah, I mean the culture is top tier. I mean it's it's good energy every day. Coach McDermott, he takes care of the players, but he expects a lot. And if you're messing around, he'll practice you a little harder. He'll make you run some sprints. But the culture is lifting you up. It's positive. Want you to succeed no matter what and whatever you do. There's a ton of resources they give the players from player development, personnel, to psychiatrists, to anything you could think of. They are all about their players there, and you could tell because it's a very energetic and happy and just a positive environment to play in. And I think you play better, and I think the team has been so good because Coach McDermott has built that culture of positivity and helping the players on their journey wherever that is.
Yeah, was there? Did you have a did you have a teammate there that you connected with at all? Because I know the guys from top to bottom from the last few years. Was there somebody that you got along with the best on that team?
Oh yeah, probably me and Ty Johnson would play ping pong every day, man. We were like brothers.
I love Ty Johnson, man. He's awesome. Another thing I wanted to ask is just a fun question. You were elevated a couple times that season, for that Buccaneers game too, which I was actually at. Um,
Awesome.
uh, I always see Josh Allen in warmups going around to the wide receivers and doing handshakes. Did you and Josh have a handshake?
Yeah, when we did, we had the two slaps and the salute.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was our handshake. Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite NFL memory from your whole career, whether it was with the Cardinals or with Buffalo or with any of the other teams that you were with? Was there a moment that really stuck out to you?
Yeah, definitely. I think my when I got cut for Arizona, I went to Baltimore and I got hurt right away. I pulled a hamstring, probably just from like long flight, just transitioning. Like it's hard when you're moving across the country and you're in a hotel and you're not maybe sleeping or you gotta change time zones. And the third day I there, I pulled my hamstring and I was out for like 3 weeks. And then I came back, I was on practice squad and I had a fight for 7 weeks. I was on the practice squad fighting, and man, right when I was about to give up, really, and be like, man, I'm never gonna play, they called me up to play, and I made a big tackle on special teams. As a L5 on kickoff team, ran down there, made a big tackle inside the 20, and that was a huge. It was like, man, you work hard, good things happen, and you could overcome a lot of things. And it was like a proof that hard work and staying true and dedicated pays off. And then a funny backstory on that. Apparently, before the kickoff, Marlon Humphrey said, if anyone makes a tackle inside the 20, you get $1,000 from him. So I'm in my locker on Monday, and I didn't even know this was going on. And there's a envelope with $1,000 of cash in my locker, and I like pick it up. I'm like, what the? I'm like, I open it up and it says like Andy envelope. So I look inside as $1,000 bills. I'm like, what the hell? And then Marlon, he was close by. He came over. He's like, yeah, that's for the tackle. I was like, for real? And he's like, yeah. It's like I got an extra $1,000 for making
Yo,
a tackle inside the 20.
That's so awesome. That's such
Andy,
a cool story.
Andy,
Xander, you
I got a question real quick
Hell yeah.
because obviously, playing college football, when you come in, you want to play offense and you want to play defense. Explain the importance or what you feel is important about playing special teams in college and in the NFL.
That was huge. I mean, it extended my career probably 4 years in the NFL and potentially maybe longer if I maybe get another shot. But guys don't realize that, and they want to have that stardom as receiver. But you got to also know, even when I switched from receiver to or running back to receiver in college, you kind of look for opportunities, man. There's a lot of opportunities on special teams, and a lot of people don't tell you that. My first game in the NFL playing was against the Seahawks, and I had two tackles as a gunner just because a guy got hurt and they were looking for someone. I was like, I'll do it. I'll go in there, and I never had probably made a tackle in my life, and just having good energy and good athleticism and going hard on the play. Special teams is just a lot about heart and a lot about heart and just energy and intense and how intense you are. And coaches love that. You get to set the tone of the game, but it's always looking for opportunities where you could help out on the team. And a lot of that is through if you're a player that's trying to make it right now or whatever you're at, a lot of that opportunity comes through special teams. So when I was in the NFL, I was like, man, this could be an opportunity for me to play and get reps. And I did some crazy stuff in the NFL that I never thought I did. Play gunner, make tackles at gunner, make tackles on kickoff. And then I playing punt return as like a cornerback with the Bills, like when we were playing the Bucks. The only job I had that game was I was like a up back on the kickoff return team, and then I was a corner on punt return. Like when did I think I was ever going to do that in the NFL? Like got
Right.
me paid a lot of money and it had me contributing to the team, helping the team. And I took that position serious though, and they elevated me more throughout that year in Buffalo because I remember coming back after the Bucks game. I came in the locker room or I came in the meeting room and all the coaches are like, man, I heard the special teams coach is talking you up, man, telling you did a good job, man. You could play out there. And I was like, yeah, I already know that. I know I could play, but the coaches they want to see it. They some coaches are skeptical. So you go out there and you do the job, and then you get more opportunities off that. So yeah, the Bucks game, I was literally playing cornerback, something I never did. But that guy, I made sure that dude didn't get off the ball all night, and I took pride in that just because of maybe I didn't want to do that. No, I want to help the team. I'm all about the team. That's what it's about. It's the team. And even in Baltimore, Coach Harb on the wall everywhere says the team, the team, the team. It's all about the team, man. That's what has got to come first. And then put the team first. Usually things start happening for you.
No doubt. And you talk up obviously you're a guy that buys into, what's being presented to you. If it's the right thing, you're buying into it. Can you talk about like your thoughts on a culture? As we get into like college football, I mean, I don't know, I'm not in the league, but when you go to the league, you see a lot of guys that are develop individuality in this kind of in this modern area, in this modern era. Can you talk about like how big culture is in college and in the NFL? Because I feel like we're kind of getting away from that setting.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I've seen a lot of individuality in the NFL where guys, they don't practice, they don't want to, they just want to come to the game. But the team, I'll tell you what, the team never wins. The team never does good. Um, and then ultimately, it makes you look bad. When the team wins, everyone wins. That's what people really don't realize is when the team win, everyone wins. So everyone's got to buy into this culture, whatever that. Hopefully, you have a good leader that sets a good culture and gives you a standard to go by. You can't just be expected to know what the culture is. Hopefully, the leader of the team sets the culture and be like, "This is what we want to preach. This is what we want to do." And hopefully it's the right thing. You don't really have much control of that, but you have your control of your attitude, how you show up, how you buy into the culture, and sometimes it might be wrong. I mean, I'm not saying everything's right what the coach says, but you got to buy in. You got to do everything right. And if everyone buys into that one belief, special things happen. And it's about buying. It's about really buying in and being an example. Doing what they say to do. And even if it's wrong, it makes you a better person and down the road because deep down that you did the right thing and you don't have any regrets because you did things the right way. But it's when you try to be an individual and everyone wants to be an individual, then the team suffers, and then everyone suffers at the end of the day. So that's my take on that.
No doubt. And for you, right? So, obviously you can come back to this a little bit later if you want to think about it. But like when I was at Maine, like our culture was the main way. Attitude, effort, discipline. You go to UMass, it's boss, belief, ownership, sacrifice. If you were in that position of being a head coach or you're teaching, young men how to develop as athletes or as men in general, what would be that thing that you would preach to them, like a three-word slogan or a motto that would help them to buy into what you're doing for them?
Man, that's an awesome question. That's an awesome question, and there's so many ways to go about it. But my thing would just be like you said, belief is great. I mean, ownership is great. Um, Sacrifice is great. I mean, the team. I love what Carball says. The team, the team, the team. I mean, two are better than one. I always like that saying. Like I like to use a lot of biblical things. Um, but yeah, two are better than one, man. The reward for their work is a lot more, and if everyone buys in and helps their brother out, man, that's going to go a long way. And my thing would be a lot of hard work and pushing yourself. Like I would love if I was a head coach, I would challenge guys, man. I would really challenge and compete with each other, but also love you, man, and also bring a lot of and never no negativity. Like always try to be positive and always bring good energy. And let you be an individual too. Give the players some say too, some individuality. Like we're, hey man, what do you like? Give the captains maybe, hey, how should we practice today? To let the players kind of choose a little as well. I think that's important and something I saw in Coach McDermott, which the talk about the Bills culture. McDermott gives the players some leeway and some say on like how things should be done. I think that's important. It shouldn't be always a coach being like, "This is how it needs to be done. This." I think there has to be some. There's a time where maybe the players they need to be shown what to do, but I think also the players buy in more when they have a little bit more say of what they think should be going on in the building and having some say in how practice is run. But but man, it'll be fun to be a head coach if I get into that coaching realm. But yeah, I like what Coach H says with the boss. I just think he needs to add that extra S for success. You know what I
Yeah, no
mean?
doubt. Now, Coach H is he's building something special over there. And I remember seeing a recruit on Twitter after he had did his visit and committed. He said Rome wasn't built overnight, and like things like that definitely shows that like Coach H is on the right track over at UMass. Um, but you had talked about earlier about like individuality in the NFL. Now we're in college football, guys are making practice squad money, if not more. Um, Obviously you're a guy, you do the right things, very modest guy. How did you separate yourself when the big money came in? Because you see guys in the league, they buy this, they buy that, and they get this kind of ego, and they're out in clubs partying when they should be recovering and practicing. How did you separate yourself from that, being in that limelight in the league?
It's hard. I mean, for me, it was always staying humble and going back to my roots and knowing where I came from. And that's where you gotta know where you come from. Like that's not who I really am as a person. Is all that. I'm a hardworking individual, and if you know who you are, I'm hardworking. I had to earn kind of a lot of stuff I earned. There was a lot of people that helped me along the way that I'm very thankful for. But at the end of the day, I had to put in a lot of work to get there. And I don't want to go back, and I know what it takes. So I'm gonna keep working hard. I'm gonna keep doing the right things. And even if it works out the way I want it to, or even if it doesn't, I'm gonna be proud because I always put in the work. I'm not gonna have any regrets. So I always did things the right way and I always worked hard. And at the end of the day, I could go to sleep knowing that I did my best, and that's all I could do every day, and keep making an impact and keep learning. That's the main thing. I always want to keep learning. Everything, any situation you're in, you have an opportunity to learn. So I encourage guys wherever you're at, man, you got an opportunity to learn something. Even in an 0 and 12 team like UMass, there's a lot of lessons. There's more lessons I believe in a season like that than there isn't in a 12 and 0 season.
Yeah,
So there's always lessons to be learned, and if you keep learning these lessons, it'll lead you somewhere pretty cool and pretty special, and you could always and you could look back and be proud of what you did, and that's the end of the day is the most important.
Mm.
no doubt.
Yeah, you've been through a lot of transitions in your entire career. It was switching positions in college. It was getting drafted by the Cardinals, been getting cut a few times. You had that hamstring injury, uh, a bunch of new roles, playing corner with the Bills. What's the mindset that just keeps you moving forward?
It's hard. I mean, I to say I did not struggle would be lying to you, but I just develop a mindset of just like good, good. Is this happening? Good. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep putting my best foot forward. I'm gonna show up with good energy. I'm gonna keep doing the things that got me here. I'm gonna keep trying to find new ways that might get me to that next level. It's never settling. Always trying to learn. Always being open minded to different solutions, whatever they may be, that could keep it going. And that's that's right there is like never giving up. Like just keep fighting. And it's cliche to say like yeah, just keep fighting, but also be aware. Start looking around, start seeing what worked. Do an audit of yourself. What worked for you? Are you in the same spot you were 6 months ago? Why? What action do you need to take? What actions aren't you taking? Where are you wasting time at? Can you do this a little differently? Can you try this maybe? Maybe this will work. Try it. Try. Don't be afraid to try new things. Like being open to playing corner, being open to be like, all right, I'll play gunner. This could be a path for me to contribute to the team. Um, and learn, watch, be don't just be in try to get out of your head and try to see where you can serve, where can you help others, where can you help the team at. It's not always about how can you get out of your head and be like instead of seeing what you can gain, how can you give something to the team, how can you give something to the world, what can you offer. And when you start looking at like in that lens, things start happening for you because you're offering a lot to the world. And I feel like God, the universe, whatever you believe in, rewards you when you use your talents and your gifts and you start helping the world, you help others in a positive way.
Yeah,
No
I love
doubt. Me and Logan are smiling ear to ear right now because if you had said something, you were like, things aren't going your way good. Um, at our time at Maine with Jordan Stevens as head coach, he played the Jocko Willink video, and it was like,
Yeah,
you're having a hard time? Good. What did he say? Reload,
Your mom died.
re-engage.
Good.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if that's where you got it from, but that video like resonates in my mind like continuously. Like that's
yeah,
one thing I will always remember at Maine, the brotherhood and that video. Because like
yeah.
even at UMass when things were getting hard, like I remember in the back of my mind was like, lost to Kent State, good. Like reload, re-engage,
No, that,
like
that that for real, like that shit. That it sounds crazy, but that it actually like it makes you, it clears your mind to like be like, all right,
Next one.
like let's see what's next. Like let's
no
let's
doubt.
let's find a solution. Like
that's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
So you got drafted by Arizona, went to Baltimore, went to Buffalo. I want to hammer down on this upcoming team, Pittsburgh, man. I'm a Steelers fan. You mentioned that you're from Cleveland. How terrified were you to tell your family, I'm signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, our rivals?
No, that was funny, man. I was only there for like 3 weeks, but I mean, the NFL is a crazy business, man. They brought me in basically to kind of, they had some guys that weren't performing at a high level, so they brought me in basically to like kind of scare them a little, like, all right, you guys got to get going, or we might keep Andy around. That's the thing about crazy about the NFL. Like, I didn't really know that, but that's if you look at it, that's really kind of what they're doing. And then once they kind of feel like those guys are working a little harder, then they don't need you anymore, and they cut you. But I mean. It was a cool experience. Anytime you get to go in a room with like a high level coach like Mike Tomlin and even be able to get there and get even that's what I tell people too. I took so many notes when I was in Pittsburgh, listening to the Tomlin talk, listening to what he had to say. And you can learn so much in a short amount of time, but especially if you get in these rooms with these high level people like Mike Tomlin, you can learn a lot in a short amount of time. It was cool too, man. My brother plays at Duquesne. He just graduated, but he was in Pittsburgh, so I was living with him for a little bit while I was there. So it was cool, and it's cool, man. The black and yellow, man, it was sick. Mm.
I love that color scheme, man. So let's talk a little bit about post NFL. There's an organization called Athletes Untapped. It's private coaching. You heard about it. You're in that program. What made you buy into it?
Oh, it's pretty cool what they're doing. I mean, they give opportunity for athletes and coaches to kind of get their name out there a little. I like working with athletes. I always train people. Even when I was playing, I ran a during COVID. I ran like a group of like there was 8 of us. We snuck into this place in Cleveland, and I would be the guy running the session. It was me and a bunch of kids from John Carroll, a small D3 school in Ohio. They're pretty good though. Actually, they're one of the top D3 schools. But we would all be in there, about 8 or 9 of us, sneaking in there, just grinding, and it's something that I fell in love with. So after kind of that, I actually got certified through Exos. I don't know if you know Exos, but a lot of guys train there for pre-combine. They have like basically a certification you could get through their training. So I did that, and then I did some personal training cert, and then I just got certified in the CSCS. So that's something that I love to do, to train. So after post football, I kind of want to get almost into either that space or be a coach, a receiver coach, or position coach somewhere in a college or NFL setting. So
Yeah,
I love ball. I love that's what I love to do, man. And that, like I said, like we talked about earlier, like you related to, like following your passion, following what you're good at, and so I'm just trying to follow my strengths and what I like doing. Not definitely not engineering.
yeah, definitely, man. Congratulations on that certificate, by the way. That's awesome.
I appreciate
We're all proud of you. Going back to those young athletes, say one of them, or actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of them have went up and told you, I want to go D1. I want to make it to the NFL. What are three things that you're going to evaluate in that person?
Really, I try not to look at their skill and like kind of where they're at. I kind of look at like, all right, are they willing to put in the work? Like that's the main thing. Do they have the heart? When I push them a little, do they back off or do they lean into that? That's what I really look at, to be honest, is like, do they love the game? Are they willing to kind of push themselves to the limit? I have some fun kids I work with for real. Like it's been fun working with that a little. Um, and it's fun to see these kids, man. They're always asking me a million questions about football and their favorite players and stuff.
That's
Um, so it's definitely rewarding at the same time.
that's cool, man. That's cool. And we also did some digging. On your social media, it looks like that you're a great cook. So,
Oh, it's all my Izzy Cooks, man.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what's your favorite dish to make?
Ooh, I just made some beef wellies last week. That shit was crazy.
Beef Wellington.
Yeah, beef Wellington. I don't know. I'm surprised you know what that is. You know what that
That's
is?
that's
Dude, I
that's
just
it's like
saw,
the beef wrapped in the pastry with
yeah,
the
I
yep.
That's
just saw a
great.
TikTok of that the other day. I'm like, what the hell is this?
That's just crazy. So I learned how to make that. Yeah, bro. That's like what I do in my free time. It's just it's chef, bro.
That's
You gotta
awesome.
send me some. You gotta send me some recipes. All I cook is chicken wings and ribs.
I mean that's not bad living right there.
No doubt. I'm hoping I get a little Blackstone or a smoker for Christmas.
That's what I got. I'm trying to put
Dude,
them on right now to the smoker in the
the
Blackstone.
Traeger wings are unreal. Like if you like wings and ribs, bro, you have to get like it's a you have to get a Traeger. It's not even like a question.
That's the one you put the wood pellets in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
You have
doubt.
like it's not like once you try those wings, you're never gonna go back.
So I met my girlfriend in 23, and her dad is like a gadget guy. Like you walk in, he has a race car simulator or a whole
Yeah,
bunch of just crazy stuff. And he had showed me his smoker. It was a
yeah.
Traeger. And for Thanksgiving, I think I probably made the best
Turkey.
turkey.
Oh hell yeah, I did that 2 years ago.
The
That shit was
best
crazy
turkey.
too. Yeah.
I poked into it, the juice started
Yeah,
splashing
bro.
out.
For real, for real.
That's
No
awesome.
doubt.
Hell yeah.
So obviously now you have a hobby, obviously, taking away from football for a quick second. Any other things that you like to get into that's like that sparks your interest? Because at the end of the day, you're a human being. It's always about X's and O's. Like what besides cooking, like what's Andy doing on an off day? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, cooking was definitely my escape. I like reading. I wrote a book actually about my journey to the NFL, and then bro, I got into martial arts, bro. My brothers love martial arts, so I got into it. I'll go do jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and stuff for fun. I actually competed in a Muay Thai fight 2 years ago for fun. That shit was
No
fun.
doubt.
How'd that go?
It was all right, man. I got beat up a little, but the guy was a little bigger than me.
Yeah, I went to
Caught
jujitsu
up.
and the barber was like 300 pounds. He lit me up. I couldn't.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, but no, I've gotten into that. It's just fun. I can see that when I'm done playing football forever. Like that'll be my form of working out
That's what I
is
did for
doing that.
COVID was buying the bag and the heavy bag and try to get into jujitsu and that kind of stuff to stay active. That was a great workout, great cardio.
Oh yeah. Cardio is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
So me and Logan we've been best friends since 21. 21?
yeah,
yeah.
That's when we got
yeah.
there, 21.
Back when you were
And
220 pounds, we were talking about it before. Back when you were
so
small.
I would go up to Dover Foxcroft, and me and Logan it would just be me and him, his parents, his sister, and at the end of the night or whatever, he would always go downstairs and he's like boxing the punching bag, like show him like I remember the first time I went over there, he's like teaching me like the 1-2 right hook. That shit like no
Hell
doubt,
yeah, that's what's
no
up.
doubt.
That's dope.
Xander, you got anything else before I ask my last one?
Yeah, I just have one more. I'm gonna end it on a fun one. I want you to build your perfect wide receiver. Your speed,
Yes.
hands, and who's dog mentality.
Oh wait, no. Your speed, who's route running, whose hands, and whose IQ.
Yep.
Dog mentality. Stephon Diggs for sure.
That's a good one.
Hands.
Ooh, we've been
D
talking
Hop.
about that this year.
I love that.
D Hop has crazy hands. Uh, route running. Trying to think route running. I don't know if I ever played with a crazy route runner. Um, Size probably AJ Green. What was the other ones?
Hands, IQ, route running, and your
IQ.
speed.
Oh, Larry IQ. Larry
That's
Fitzgerald's
about
IQ. Yeah, crazy
Who
IQ.
who'd you pick for hands?
D Hop all day.
I thought you were gonna pick Larry.
No, well,
Both,
Larry has good
both are
hands too.
crazy,
That's
man.
tough. That's tough. Yeah, but I'll take
More
Larry's
tackles and
IQ.
drops.
Yeah, I saw him even when he was older. He was making one-handed snags, just like plucking it with like. He taught me like how to catch with your fingertips. That was crazy. Like he would
Wow.
say, he would focus on catching with his fingertips. Like the ball never touched his palm. His hands were also massive too,
insane.
so I mean, that helped.
That
That
is
helped.
so crazy, bro.
So yeah, that would
Look,
be like my per. I can't think of a route runner that I would.
I'll do you a favor. AB right there.
Oh yeah, shit. AB's got crazy routes. Hell yeah. But he was kind of spazzy with his routes. It wasn't like
No, but you watch it,
yeah.
it's like slow motion. You're just in a mate. You're in constant awe watching him doing the route running. He completely fools you. This dude's 5'10". He's like 160 soaking wet,
Yeah, it's just
and this
crazy.
is blowing by everyone. It's like, how the hell is he doing this right now?
Yeah, that's a good one for sure.
Well, you said
I,
your favorite route was the deep crosser. What's your favorite like technical route? Whether it's like a whip route, we could call it a Q route at UMaine, where it's like a whip route at the top at like 15 yards, but you break
uh,
over the top. What would you
we had a
say?
route in Buffalo. that I ran. It was like a jerk route, or it was like that. The jerk route was fun, especially if you get lined up against a Mike, or like an option route where you're in like a bunch, you're number three in the bunch, and you get to like kind of widen out a little, and you get it one on one.
Well, they send the
Like on
blitz and they
option.
replace.
Yeah, yeah, you place the linebacker or something, or if they say you break it out, like
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah. So my last question for you. You played with a bunch of really good players throughout your career. Larry Fitzgerald, DeAndre Hopkins, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. You already talked about what your favorite NFL moment that you were personally a part of was. Was there you say they're regular guys, but some of them are crazy on the field. What was there ever one play, and I'm wondering if you're gonna say the same thing I'm thinking, that was just a wow moment for you watching happen on the field, whether it was somebody you played with or played
Uh,
against.
well, I was right in front of D Hop when he caught the play of the year. Actually, I think it
Yeah,
was. That shit was
that's exactly
crazy.
what I
Okay, you're a
thought.
Bills fan, right? Yeah, so
Yeah,
that shit was crazy. I was there, bro. I was ready for him to drop it. I was about to take that. I was about to snag it up.
yeah. I that was such a heartbreaking play for me, man. It killed me. But I also had to like just accept how great he is and how great the play was. Like as a general NFL fan, that was so insane to watch.
That was crazy. Yeah, I was like, what? Like watching it there, like I wasn't even surprised though. I was just like, all right, like but like nice.
Especially on two
Well, he
defenders.
had three all pros strapped on him too, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
crazier
Micah
part.
Hyde, all those guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's funny because I play with a lot of Jordan Poyer. I
yeah.
forget.
Yeah, especially over two, three defenders. But just how about that fucking ball placement from Kyler Murray, dude? Put it in the
On the run, running to the left, and
goodness.
then D Hop obviously getting up there and just high pointing it where literally no one else can get it.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, to do that was pretty spectacular. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up. Andy, we really appreciate your time. We're honored to have you on the podcast. This is the In the Pocket podcast. I'm Logan Martin. That's Max Sturm, Xander Cook, my brother Shymel Davis. Appreciate you coming on, Andy and Shymel. Again, we're honored to have you on. Yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.